Constantly shifting through the time-space continuum, Metron's three disciples observe the universe from the Mobius Couch.
Say you will, say you won't, say you'll do what I don't. Say you're true, say to me, say la Mobius Couch, a time-space interdimensional vehicle from which your three hosts oversee the internet's #1 podcast dedicated to the Lucky Brand Addison line of jeans, a collaboration with Addison Rae. Fame is a gun, y'all, and it's pointed at you.
Wearing
Joe
them right
Pat,
now.
how are you doing?
Wearing
What
them right
jeans are you
now.
wearing? Are you wearing the flare
I'm
cut
great.
Addison jean, or what are we doing?
Flare cut.
I'm so old that I'll never be able to tell the difference between Addison Rae and Madison Beer. I'm at that age where I'm like, these two pop divas are the same person to me. They always will
Wait a
be.
minute. Wait a minute. Madison Beer. Time out. Let me check the knobs here. I think we might be in the wrong dimension. Let me.
Oh, that might be it.
Let me see if
That might be it.
Beep boop 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 boop. The Mobius Couch, a time-space interdimensional vehicle for which your three hosts oversee the world of comic books, comic books. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat because today we are talking about the exceptional X-Men, which is a big deal because they're exceptional. Out of all the X-Men, well, out of all the X-Men, they're the exceptional ones, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
however,
the uncanny ones.
Yeah,
or the regular
ones. They're not astonishing. They're not any of that. They're just exceptional. Before we get into that, though, first let's introduce your three hosts. So I'm Alessandro. It's great to meet you. If you haven't listened before, and joining me, of course, are Patrick.
Hello, how's it going, everybody? This is Patrick. I always love introductions. It's my favorite part of the entire.
It is. It's so natural. The banter back and forth is so natural.
So natural.
Yeah. And Joe, of course, Joe is also joining us.
Hey.
Hey
guys.
How you doing? How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Patty.
Hey. Oh, hi.
Hey.
How's
Hey,
it
Al.
going?
All right.
So you guys like my new? This is my new vantage point. My background. If the podcast, you can't see it, but if you're watching on YouTube,
yeah. But if you're on YouTube, you can see a difference.
I do like how you're kind of you're sort of at a Hitchcock angle. You know, it's not like a traditional head-on angle in the shot. So that's
I've
pretty
thought
interesting.
many a time of moving some of my shelves to the corner so I could angle this towards the and have more of a point behind me of comics and toys, less than a giant flat wall.
So I really think we need to hire professional writers for these segments because we can't do it. We're just not doing
it.
ChatGPT. Oh, ask Jenny with an I. Ask Jenny with an I. Inside.
You know, I barely
his ChatGPT Jenny.
I barely wear this for YouTubers. I'm wearing a Flash hoodie, but I barely wear this hoodie because it's giant Flash symbol and it's bright red and it's just a little gay. I wear black a lot. Let's put it that way. So like, I was just like, I put it on and my daughter was like,
black a lot.
"What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I was like, putting a hoodie on, and she's like, "You never wear that." And I was like, "I wanted a snuggly hoodie. It's chilly." she was just making fun of me for my dumb comic book. What a punk. What a
punk. All right, we're going to talk about Exceptional X-Men E-viewing. Before we get to that, on a personal note, I want to make an announcement. Those who know me know that I haven't bought a single issue comic book in about 15 years. I've sworn that off. It's too expensive. I get hardcover.
You also get stuff from the library?
Absolutely. The library. I do go to the library.
Take advantage of that socialist library with their free bullshit.
Take advantage about all of that.
Hey, people that can't afford comics, if you didn't know this, go to your local library. There's a ton of comics there.
Yeah, they have both.
I was being sarcastic.
Well, no, I live in Boston, which has a very good public library system. But if your library doesn't have physical trade paperbacks of comics, it may have ebook versions that you can rent just as easily. So definitely look into that.
One might say even more easily.
No.
You can do it from home.
Nothing replaces the feeling of walking your little feet down that street to the librry and using your little hands to pick it off the shelf and reading it in your little hands.
That seems weird. It seems weird to me.
I have little hands and feet.
All right. So what
I want to talk about,
comic did you buy?
The first issue that I broke my abstinence on is Absolute Batman Annual #1.
Oh.
Batman.
And
Here
as
we
you
go.
all know,
My
it feels like
reaction-
actually Batman.
My reaction is
Ow.
only half real. I'm still laughing, but I did know that that's what he bought. But the fact that this man, Alessandro, bought of all comic books an absolute Batman which he does not like
I don't like.
Hates.
is fucking insane.
What I do like, and the reason I broke my oath and bought this single issue is I do like white supremacists. You see white power there.
You
I
do
do
like
like
white
seeing
supremacists?
them get their arm broken. Thank you, Batman.
No.
Fighting for
Also,
everyone's rights. Go Batman.
I might be wrong, and like check me in the comments, listeners. But I'm pretty sure it's canon that he killed those guys, right? I think it's like the art makes it look like they're all being killed, but I figured it was just like artistic expression. But I think he did kill those guys. Maybe I'm wrong. But
I mean,
thought
I'd
saw
have to
something.
read the issue. I can't. I'm
He
not-
does
I
drive
haven't heard
a
anything about that.
literal bulldozer of a Batmobile through their building and set things on fire. So he goes at it. And this issue, by the way, I know we've
Classically a trait of Batman that you don't like, Al.
well, let's not get into that. I'll make an exception for white supremacists. But this issue also, Scott Snyder writes the normal Absolute Batmans, but this annual is written by friend of the podcast, Danny Warren Johnson, who did the Transformers.
Oh, I love Danny
run
Warren
that we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make that little personal note that I'm not back to buying single issues, but I did buy this single issue. Also,
okay.
I got this cool little variant cover where he's kind of like,
I like that.
I like the
like
cover.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Who's the cover artist? You know?
blood off his that. So that's cool. That's cool.
Anyway,
Anyway,
good answer.
Guess not.
All right.
Guess not.
Who's the cover artist? Do you know?
oh Jesus, I don't
Patrick
know.
asked you.
I don't know.
Been slinging too many mimosas tonight, Al.
Oof. I don't know how to find out who did the cover
It's
art.
okay. You guys just Google it. Just Google
You
it.
just
Google
Googleize it.
Oh, one note that I want to make, which is kind of fascinating, because when I used to read comics and buy single issues, they were plastered with Got Milk ads, Adidas, all sorts
Kind
of
of miss
stuff.
those days.
Nothing. Every ad in this is for a Warner Brothers or DC property.
It's for more comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wild.
It's all their brands. Yeah.
For their brands. Yeah.
So
it's
that
kind
means-
of wild.
So that means they're not paying for those ads, right? Like,
Yeah, they're just taking their own ad space.
Who would pay
Yeah.
for it's a dead medium? Who would pay for ads?
I don't
It's
know,
a dead
man.
medium, I've
It's
always said.
sad. It's sad. It's sad. Are toys dead mediums? I guess I don't know.
Action figures? It's
No,
dying.
comics are the dead medium. Why would you advertise in
You
comics?
used to advertise video games and toys. in
Yeah,
comics.
video games and toys were.
But I think we still sell those, but we just don't advertise them in comics.
Yeah, I guess.
But anyway, but I just wanted to make that point. It was a little bit jarring to just because I'm so used to every other page being a.
I feel like
or
I've seen
Got
some
Milk ad
like
or-
McFarlane does well. About to not have anymore, but he had the DC rights for the toys, and I feel like I've seen some McFarlane toys ads in some DC comics recently. But I could.
But
be,
it's still a but it's still a DC.
it's still a DC
a
toy,
property,
sure.
right?
But-
Like,
well,
it's
yeah,
still
but that's
related to-
McFarlane buying ad space for an audience that he knows will want to buy those toys. I'm just saying it does
I just
technically exist still.
I just wanted to.
But
make
yeah, I
that
feel like
point.
ads in comics are always for like more of their comics now.
I just wanted to make that point, and I want to make sure that all of our listeners buy Aztec Batman Clash of the Empires, whatever that is. Make sure and buy that.
I believe it's a digital movie,
Make sure and buy
an
that.
animated movie coming out soon.
Okay. Forget Batman. Forget him. Forget him, because that's not what we're talking about.
What are
We're
we
here to
talking
talk about Exceptional X-Men, written by Ewing, art by Carmen Carnero, and Nolan Woodard did the colors. So this is one of the three main X-Men from the Ashes initiatives, along with X-Men, Uncanny
Yeah.
X-Men, and then this Exceptional X-Men. Gail Simone writes Uncanny X-Men, but I did not know she's doing that. Great, good for her.
Yeah.
But so this book is written by Eve Ewing, who kind of got famous doing Ironheart. I think was her main, her big Marvel thing before this. Carmen Carnero, I couldn't find a Wikipedia page about her, but she's an artist who does comics. That's all I could find out.
But she's an artist.
She's from Spain. I found out that she's from Spain, but that's all I could find out.
Okay.
But that's the creative team behind this. The conceit is that Kate Pryde and Emma Frost are kind of dueling mentors over a brand new batch of Teenage Mutants.
I do
we've
like
got-
before you go in the trade covers of this and other X-Men titles in this era are 90s trading cards, Marvel trading cards style.
Yeah, this is the very 90s look with the purple grids. I mean,
yeah, well, that's where the image of the trading card character would be, and I thought it was fun design. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
Right. So I don't have too much to say as setup, other than this is just so the X-Men from the Ashes. Patrick, if you want to talk about this, because I know you know more about Krakoa and all that, but this is coming off of kind of the end and destruction of Krakoa and that whole Age of Krakoa X-Men run from the ashes of that. But yeah, Patrick, if you want to give like a little bit of background on kind of how that ended, like what the starting point is here for the.
Well, I had a fun tidbit because I went to San Francisco like a month ago, and I went to a comic book shop there, and I talked to the comic book owner. He was like very enthusiastic about comics, which isn't always the case, I feel like, at comic book stores.
Yeah, which is weird.
And we were talking about Krakoa, and he was talking about Hickman, and now Hickman had like a definitive end.
The Hickman, who is not the Kirkman. This is the Hickman.
Not the Kirkman, the Hickman. Yeah. So the Hickman actually was going to end the Krakoa stuff earlier than Marvel actually did, because the books were selling so well, they were like, oh, we're going to keep going with this. And that's when Hickman was like, well, I'm going to bow out. And so that's why like things kind of dropped off a little bit. I'm still annoyed they ended Krakoa because I felt like it was just a nice, fun new status quo.
I liked it.
Really
Yeah, they should have kept that status quo for so long.
But I think because it was so the end was very rushed and abrupt, and it was just very disappointing. And I think that, I guess it's just important for this book in particular, because Kitty, at the end of Fall of X, like Orcus, which is, the new artificial intelligence type people with Nimrod, basically just destroy Krakoa and kill everybody. And Kitty has this scene where she kills, like brutally kills, like Attack on Titan, like blood and gore, like using her phasing powers, the most brutal, like The Boys type style. Brutally murders like a dozen of these Orcus people. And so then so that's like everything collapses. Kitty loses her entire like country. And the fact that this book, we haven't gotten overall takes, but like the fact that this book starts with her being a bartender in Chicago, like
slinging mimosas.
She ran from everything and hid in her old hometown.
I get that, but it's just, we can get into it in the overall takes, but like Krakoa's end, I learned recently, was it felt terrible because it was rushed, because they ran out of ideas, because Hickman just like, he gave his notes, I guess, but they didn't go in that direction with whatever way he was going to end it. And we got a bunch of bullshit crap instead.
So this is something I don't understand, is every example we have of like an editorial board or business people saying we have to do this against the creator's wishes never ends well. I don't know why we keep doing that.
There's no data point. We're always like, that could have been so much better if they had just let that guy do what he wanted to do, or
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever watched Twin Peaks, but that was the big thing where David Lynch originally never wanted to reveal who killed like the main woman who died. That was the mystery that sparked the show. He was just kind of like, I don't care about that. Yeah. But in the middle of season 2, ABC was like, you have to reveal this now because viewers demand it. You have to do this. And so he was just like, okay, I'll do it in the middle of the season, and the rest of the show is going to suck because there's no point. And that it just went off the rails. But we just don't have any data point where a commercial interest saying we have to do this ever
makes sense. Yeah,
it just makes it worse, and no audience ever appreciates it. It's just weird how we do that, though.
That was my big takeaway. My time in Hollywood was that like somehow like the dumbest, most uncreative people got promoted to the top. Like I guess through just we're at a point where just like the people making the decisions don't understand story or art.
Yeah,
and it's just like they just rip it apart. And
I do. Having said that, I do want to say that the little bit of the Krakoa I read even in the beginning was horseshit, and I thought the whole thing was.
We'll
bad.
always
So,
just disagree with you on that completely, 100%. We'll always disagree.
So not a fan at all on any phase of Krakoa, but that's me.
Loved all of it.
That's me. That's me personally.
Maybe we should. Yeah, no, we shouldn't ever revisit
But
it.
let's do overall takes and let's get into this. Let's get into
overall takes. I read issue 1. I texted you guys and I said I'm only 1 issue in, and I went I ... don't like it. But that being said, I read 2 through 5 and I was like, all right, it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe it was what Patty was saying, the initial burst of like, really, she's just a bartender and like like what the fuck, kind of thing. And then I was like, all right, I'll try to give this a chance. But I don't know. For some reason, the end of Krakoa annoyed me, and then this just seemed like a return to back of like just how everything was, sort of.
That's what I did not like. Exactly.
The reintroduction of like random mutants when like all the mutants left is weird. Like I don't know. I was just like, I thought all the mutants left. I'm confused. So I was like, I didn't understand what was going on. I guess a little bit, but I'm not super current on X-Men, so I was just like, I'll roll with it. Anyway, I don't know. It seems it's very character driven. There's not a lot going on action wise. There are some random fights, but they seem sort of shoehorned in. And then there was a comment from Emma, I think in like issue 4 or something like that, or maybe when issue 3 when she kind of like first shows up, and she's basically like, Kitty is kind of like, why are you here? And she says something along the lines of like, well, everyone else is just falling into the same old habits, meaning like those books are boring. So I want to be in this book. And I kind of appreciated that. But at the same time, I was like, but this book is also kind of boring. So like, it was okay. Okay.
Yeah.
These first 5 issues are definitely setting up a further storyline.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And that's, I will say, one thing about our podcast is we tend to do initial issues of runs.
Yeah.
So, it's hard for us to really review the book as a whole or where the story is going, because typically the first 5 to 6 issues are mainly exposition setting up.
Yeah.
What's going to be this new system. So
it felt old fashioned.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, it wasn't an interesting dynamic way of setting up the team. They just kind of went back to the well of like, there's the teacher and she gathers a student and another student, and the next issue is about that student, and then Emma comes in, and then Bobby's there, and you're just like, okay, all right,
100%.
And then issue 6 will be like, and now we're a team.
So I had a similar reaction. So I would like rating this, I'd give it a C+ or something. I had the same, I would call this the unexceptional X-Men. Wink. But so there's 2 things that kind of rub me the wrong way. One is, I know we've talked about this in the sense of movies, of how every new movie has to be an origin story, and like we don't need to see Iron Man in his basement figuring shit out. Like we know all this. So I had that thing of like, are we really doing the same like high school kids going to the X mansion? Or we've done this so many times.
Yeah.
And they also, what's interesting is in this podcast, eagle-eared listeners, will know that we've done the Dark Phoenix saga, which was the introduction of Kitty Pryde as kind of a young ingenue joining the X-Men.
I do like the parallels of that.
And there's a lot of parallels. So I do want to say that part is set up well. However, I'm just kind of tired of that whole setup of new students, new mutants, new teenagers. That doesn't really do it for me. And then times Joe's point of, we just did all of this Krakoa world building and mutants are different now and the world is different, and now we're just going back to, oh right, they're minorities hiding again,
and now everyone hates to go more because they wouldn't share their immortality or whatever the fuck.
So that part I wasn't a fan of. However, I will say Bronze is awesome. I think she's really cool. I like how her power is basically Colossus and Omega Red as one, with like metal skin and tentacles is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I liked her a lot. And that's about it. She's about all that I liked. So I'm done. That was my overall take.
Gosh, mine's gonna be way longer than y'all's. Piggybacking off what Joe said, like I love Krakoa. I hated the way they ended it. I feel like they could have ended it much more gracefully in a way that made more sense. Kitty Pryde, I think, is one of the. I would say at this point, I consider Kitty like one of the top 5 X-Men. Like,
Love her.
as far as just the last like decade and a half, she's been very central to like the core team.
End of X-Men. She was the central character of that whole thing.
Yeah. It's just, and so to see what she went through in Krakoa, to see the person she became, have all that stripped away. Again, you're dealing with comic book time, so it's like, how much time has passed since that happened? Like a few weeks.
She's 19 years old. She's still 19 years
No.
old, Patrick. Yeah.
So I was just very disappointed because going back to like how this podcast started, we always talk about Mr. Miracle. Tom King did like really great character work with what Mr. Miracle dealing with the PTSD and the emotional scars and things of that nature. And I really wanted more of that in this book. And you get like 1 page of it between Kitty and Emma, and it's literally 1 page where they start getting into it and then it cuts
and then they stop.
some other BS. And yes, I'm on the same page as all. Like, I get why they're introducing new mutants, but at the same time, it's like it's repetitive. Bronze is amazing, and I think actually Alex. I don't know how to say his code name. Is it Axo?
Axo. I assume. Axo.
Well, it's axolotl. Axolotl.
Axolotl. Axa. So it's Axa.
Maybe.
I don't know. I really liked Bronze, but at the same time, Bronze's character, she had some of my favorite lines in this run, but then sometimes I'm like, is she 12, 13, or is she like 16, 17? Because sometimes she acts
like a
child,
13-year-old, but then she looks like a 17-year-old.
But then sometimes she acts really mature, and she has these thoughts that are like very adult, like introspective and very self-aware. Emma is always refreshing. I love Emma in every single thing she's ever been in. She's great in this. Kitty.
See, I thought Emma's writing was a little bit tired. I don't know. It just didn't seem that.
It feels like Emma. It felt like Emma, but it felt like her heart wasn't in it. You know what I mean? Like not even like it wasn't written well. It felt like it was written to be like she wasn't really invested. Like she was just like, "Yeah, I'm here. We need costumes." I'm the best teacher because I've done all this shit. And it really just felt like she was like, I guess I'm just going to fuck with Kitty because, like, I don't really want to fuck with Cyclops or anybody else. like that was kind of it. I was like, this seems like a really weird, like, not really outwardly, but sort of a depressed Emma.
It just,
you know what I mean?
And they didn't get into it. Like, it just seems like there's so much, especially between Emma and Kitty, with so much history and what Krakoa meant to both of them. Like, there's so much they could talk about, and Kitty being a bartender living with, I don't know, a childhood friend, and also Kitty's bisexual.
I did love Treaty was the best though.
But like also the music, was she though? Because she was like, "Hey Kitty, are you like upset about that thing about what?" Like, I'm like, "Do you know she's a mutant or like what?" But she does.
Yeah, Patrick.
She
offered them a warehouse for tax write-offs. That's
and then also, really cool. Aside from that, but like I loved there was like a beat where like she was just like, "What are you guys doing? Get in the apartment. Like let's just have tea or whatever." Like that part, those little bits that I was like, "Okay, I like this. I like this person. She's kind of fun."
So I guess just to wrap up, so Trista, I loved Trista Bronze because she's also very Sailor Moon. I like how she's way into Sailor Moon. She has
her favorite anime.
Yeah, and she has a through line where she's like, people always tell me to be strong, but like no one tells me to be kind or gentle or compassionate. Like she's very Sailor Moon vibes, but she has very aggressive powers, I guess. So I like that dynamic. Alex Axa, I think he's got interesting powers because he's like an empath, like Raven from the Teen Titans.
And he's got a little mood ring skin.
Skin, yeah. I do think they're doing a good job of kind of trying to differentiate that from telepathy. Like Emma's training him, but doesn't really completely understand his powers and how he can kind of predict what someone's going to do next based off of their emotions that Emma couldn't figure out based off their thoughts.
Yeah.
Melee, I hate Melee.
I also didn't really care for him.
Hate that character type. I hate like the Raphaels and the Wolverines who storm into shit. But at the
Well,
thing,
she's
the
also
reason that,
like
it bothered-
a big part of the story arc is she's like, I'm out, and I'm like, okay, all right, you're off the team.
Yeah, but it's the typical Raphael, like, I'm gonna go away now. It is.
Yeah, like but she doesn't know. Like, I think when they develop her, I think I will come to like her as much as like an Ileana Rasputin, who's kind of the same character, but she's competent and knows how to use her powers. But at this point, she's just kind of the annoying, kind of like
Hothead,
holier than thou. But also, like, her moral compass is she just the way she judges Kitty and Emma and stuff like that. So, out of all the Rise of the Ashes books, I think this is the best one, in my opinion. I've read some of the other ones. Yeah. Oof. So, but I'm enjoying the one thing I will say is the dynamic between the three kids, Bronze, Alex, and
that was kind of fun.
That was believable to me. But the one thing I was confused on was, yes, Krakoa was just destroyed. Mutants are like considered terrorists just by nature, but then all of them appeared to, we don't know much about Alex's background, but Melee and Bronze like apparently come from families that are like totally okay with you being mutant, like very accepting, completely out to their families. So that was one dynamic that was kind of a little bit different.
Well, the comic, okay, well, let's get into the issues in a second, but the comic it weirdly wants to have it both ways of Krakoa happened and Kitty is scarred. But at the same time, everything else says X-Men as you remember it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think that's mutants hiding with their families from. It's just this weird dynamic of like picking and choosing where Krakoa.
And it's also like, I wonder how much of like the editorial people, I don't know, like
maybe they were pushing for like we need X-Men to feel like they used to kind of.
Because
very possibly.
I think there's
I was
the Cyclops.
Say, I have like one last question before we get into the issues. Do you feel like this would be, or maybe it's just not written for us? Like we're less accepting of like new mutants that are being introduced, and we're kind of like bored with it in a sense of like we've been through this so many times, and like I just want to read about the mutants I already know about and know and love kind of thing, and this isn't really for us, you know what I mean? Do you get that vibe? Like, would somebody that's like new to X-Men like appreciate this a lot more because it's like
it may? I mean, if they don't have
like the same way we loved Kitty when she got introduced, you know?
I mean, like, if they don't have 40 years of different high schoolers being introduced into the X-Men fold, then maybe it's fresher and is more fun, right?
Well, also Bronze. There was a lot of buzz about Bronze, which I understand.
Well, Bronze is awesome. She is great.
Her character design is fantastic. Awesome. Her power set's amazing, and overall, I really loved her character. She had some great bits. But yeah, I also think because they've introduced like 4 new mutants in the team that's like led by Rogue. And I think it's one of those things where they're just like seeing what sticks. I bet out of these 7 new mutants, like maybe 2 will be the fan favorites that are kind of stick
around,
and the rest will be background characters. Because it just reminds me of like Surge and Wither and
Armor,
Mercury, and like Armor like was the most popular, and she's kind of like not really relevant at all right now.
Or it's kind of like a Transformers cartoon where they're like, here's this new one, here's this new toy, and then like, will people buy it or not? No,
here's this new toy.
Forget it. We're gonna do it.
Mine. Depower or something.
Okay, one last thing before we get into issue 1, but Patrick, do you have any context on why Kitty and Colossus aren't together and she's bi now? Is that?
I think the bisexual.
Was that when she was a pirate? Or when did that
No,
happen?
I don't. I think that happened in this, but I think it was always. It's kind of like the Tim Drake thing, where if you look back now, it like makes sense, and I think they just officially confirmed it in this. The Colossus thing, I almost feel like they throw shade at him in this because Kitty makes a comment about how she's going on a date with someone that she didn't meet when she was literally a child, and so I think
they also do the opposite though, because like. She's talking to Bronze and she's like, your powers actually remind me of somebody I'm very, very fond of, or like I've known for a very long time and I'm very fond of, or whatever. I don't remember.
But she's been through a lot of. It was Colossus, and I don't remember what happened, but he goes to put the ring on her finger at their wedding, and she like instinctively phases, and the ring falls off, and then I think she like phases through the ground and disappears. But then she was like engaged to Star-Lord. I think she's just had a lot of bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember her with Star-Lord for a little bit. Yeah, that's true. Forgot about that.
But yeah, as far as I know, this is the first time she's like confirmed bisexual.
Okay, fun. Okay, let's talk about issue 1.
Issue
Well,
one.
issue 1. We've kind of hit it. She's a barback, and she's been
Wigging mimosas.
working long hours at the
Long
bar.
hours. So she won't think about Krakoa and all of her friends that died and all the children that died. Right?
Can we
all the
talk
people
about?
she
people
talks
she
to.
killed.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about is like how she got that job. Can you imagine if she just gives her, like, her resume is Krakoan
Resume?
Council, rescued the Earth from.
What is her
Also,
resume?
like,
I left
like,
Chicago when I was
you know,
15.
all, like,
Like, what is her resume? I
Well,
went to
like,
school
why-
when I was 13 in New York. I've never
Yeah.
had a job.
fought, like,
Again, it's
saved
so-
Earth from the break world when I was 21. Like,
it's
you know, all
so
of that stuff.
frustrating because, like, obviously she could handle the stress of any corporate job, and all we know about her is that she's like a crazy computer hacker. Like, why isn't she working some different job than this?
I
Like,
think
why?
I think it's like
Why
she's
is it this
that
job?
it's that like I'm a depressed, 30 something, and I don't want to deal with life, and I don't know.
I don't know, but then getting really like
I want a
hacking into
job that's
computers
super
and
busy all the
stuff,
time,
like,
so I don't think.
yeah, go work for I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I guess she wants it to be like, manual labor and like not thinking, maybe it's just that kind of thing.
I
I
will
do
say
want
again,
to say throughout this run, I love her style. I don't know
yeah,
if it was
she's got almost better
I don't know
style
if
than
it's
Emma. I
Carmen
think. It's like-
Carnero, but it's a great look for Kitty throughout. Always good looks for her throughout this run.
Yeah,
I
the
was
art
thinking
is
if she had,
is the
more
art. How do you
costumes
guys
in
feel
it.
about the art in general?
I mean, it was decent. It didn't take away from the story. I think it didn't add.
It wasn't
necessarily-
like knock you over
It
the
was
head
just-
amazing or anything, but I
yeah,
thought it was really
It was good
really
though.
pretty good.
It was good contemporary comment, but again,
Yeah, I agree,
nothing that you would remember in 10 years from now is standing out
Yeah.
artistic.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I like it's still in issue 1. I like her look with the leather jacket, dark jeans.
Yeah. It was cool there.
However, she has in this panel, you'll notice that she has light shoes, but in another panel, she has dark shoes.
Idiot.
Look at this panel; she's got dark shoes. Little continuity error.
Shadow.
Idiot.
No, those are dark shoes, bro. It's
No, look at the
continuity.
light around the outside of them. You're so
It's
foolish.
continuity, bro.
And I'm sorry, Kitty is just so out of character in this first issue with the 2 patrons at the bar talking shit about mutants, and they specifically start talking shit about the mutant at the end of the bar, and I'm like, you just lost your entire people. And you're just gonna be like, I'm not getting involved. I'd rather just blend in with the
Patrick,
oppressors than
You don't understand. She's in her first act of John Wick mode. She's not in that business anymore.
whatever.
She doesn't want any part of it. She's not going to murder people. She's going to stay
It's
out of
comic book world. It's been like 3 days since Krakoa fell.
it. It really has, yeah. And she joined the
It
X-Men
hasn't been
8
3
months ago.
days. She has
Yeah.
a job. They
been
know her
like
there. It's been a while.
maximum. It's been 3 months. It's been 3
But I
months
do.
maximum.
So one thing that we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of references to the Dark Phoenix saga and how Kitty joined the team in this run.
That was
And
my
one
favorite
of them-
page. My favorite page is the flashback with Storm. Is that what you're going to bring up?
Well, that, but also when she meets Bronze at the concert is very reminiscent of Enter the Dazzler and that whole issue and part of the Dark in the
you're
concert
right.
venue
You're right.
there. So there's a lot of references to the Dark Phoenix run.
True.
Why is this
True.
bouncer not letting her in? Do they
Okay,
know
I was gonna ask the same
she's a
question.
mutant?
I was so confused. Do they know she's a mutant? Kitty kind of seems to imply that she knows she's a mutant. She's like, I've seen this before, a prepubescent teen or whatever who's stressed out, and then she uses her powers. It was really confusing.
Who do you mean? So the bouncer doesn't not let Kitty in. He's
He
not
won't
letting
let Bronze in. Yeah. So why won't he let Bronze in?
Because she's underage. She's like 15. She clearly
Her
should
two
not
friends.
be in that
Her
club.
two
All the
friends
people
just
in
got
line
it.
are children.
Yeah.
She
They're all
clearly
children.
should not be in that club.
Concert. It's a concert. It's not a bar.
It's not a club. It's a concert. There's a
Her
line
two
filled with children.
friends.
Her two friends
Her
are
two-
dressed just
You're
like
right.
her.
It's an arena. It's like a trapped Raven, Night Raven concert, whatever her name was.
Yeah, it was to me that was again kind of like I'm like what is happening here? Why is this happening? I feel like this is lazy writing, like a lazy setup. I don't get it.
And also the security guard is like, you're not coming in, whatever. Who knows why the fuck he's doing that randomly? But then he pulls a fucking gun on her.
I know.
I mean, granted, she uses mutant powers on him, but still, it's fucking insane.
I do like how, so he says entry is at the discretion of the venue of management. Right now, I'm the management. This is what confused me with the club thing. He's acting like a club bouncer, but it's clearly just an arena concert.
Yeah, she's like, I
Yeah.
already showed you my ticket.
I feel like
why
I
the
bought a
fuck is he
fucking
barring
ticket
her
to
way?
a concert.
I've never been to an arena concert where they're not just like scan, go in.
Yeah, the
Like, there's
security guard wouldn't
no-
even have blinked at her. They
It
would have
is
just been like,
kinda
whatever,
weird.
go on.
I mean, the
Um,
only thing that makes sense is that he can tell she's a mutant, which doesn't make sense though, because she kind of asked Kitty.
Because
once
she
again,
hasn't
like, she's a
mutanted
mutant.
out yet.
Like,
Yeah, she hasn't gone out yet.
is it because she has pink hair or what? I don't know.
That can't be it.
Yeah, so this is a bouncer who goes out of his way at a mainstream K-pop concert to kick out
Yeah, it's like
individual
not
teams
explained at all, and I'm
from
very
it.
confused.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then she tries to shoot him or he tries to shoot her in the face.
But she's bronzed. But she does Hulk out. She bronzes out.
She bronzes out.
And I know we talked about this, but her powers are awesome. Like, again, she's Colossus and Omega Red in one.
I don't know.
Like,
The
she
string things
metals
are
out
weird.
and
The string things are weird.
yeah, they're
Well, I
useful.
think it would. I kind of think it would make more sense if it was her hair.
Yeah,
The
like,
fact
where
that
is
it comes off of
coming
her
from?
arms. is
That's a
kinda
racist
strange.
comment.
She's
That's-
also wearing.
that's a racist
Well,
comment.
she has,
Would you have made
she
that
has long,
comment about a
tendrily
white-
like hair, Al.
Patrick, would you have made that comment about a white girl's hair?
Yeah, if it was
Yes.
Sailor Moon, well, I know that she's Japanese,
Yeah.
but like with the long ponytails, and then she just has like skin coming off of her arms to wrap people up. I'm like, why not use the giant?
It's not skin. It's
Plumes of
bronze
hair.
tendril.
I just
Not
don't like
skin, bronze
the
tendrils.
weird
Yeah, off her
the weird
bronze skin.
inconsistency or like lack of like it's just not coming from anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. Like I don't
It's
like
coming from her arms, dude. It's like her
and then when
veins
she's wearing a
growing out of her
costume
arms.
later, it's just like around. It doesn't make. It's drawn poorly. Then they're not that necessarily that panel. That one's fine. But like there are other times where I'm like, where are those coming? Where are those going to? She's wearing a full bodysuit.
I just
I don't
like a female superhero whose powers is hair tendrils is pretty tried and true.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
so
I
I
would be
kind of
pretty bored with
don't
that.
mind that they're just like you get.
I don't. I just needed to. I just need to know where they're coming from. I don't know. I don't mind. That they're
Yeah.
coming from her arms. Like
but
Omega
back-
Red has like very like noticeable like exit areas for the cords to come out of his forearms. Wolverine, they're clearly coming out of his hands. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. They're just like tangentially connected to somewhere behind her arm or on her body somewhere. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's just. I guess it's more like a symbiote where it just kind of.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess, but like I don't know. Even
Okay.
that.
But so back to Kitty. First of all, Kitty looks great. Like I love that leather jacket, tight jeans look. But,
Speaking of the connection to Dazzler, they missed a real opportunity to give us another Dazzler type character mutant there.
would have been
Man,
great.
Dazzler. Oh, or if just
And
Dazzler was in this book, that would have been fantastic.
That would be cool.
Imagine if we got a new Dazzler with a new tie-in made for TV film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Dazzler that we could
That
market.
we
we could
never got made.
cross-market. Would be great. But Kitty does the same thing, like we mentioned earlier. She kind of walks away because again, this is John Wick Act 1. He's out of that business. He's not going to kill anyone. He's not going to hurt anyone. She walks away. But then she hears the gunshot.
But it's
And
not
she
killing,
activates.
it's saving a child. And the fact that Kitty was like, you know what? This bitch can figure it out herself. I'm out of here.
Mhm.
Just it's like so not who she is.
Well,
Well,
but
like,
it isn't
I was
because
like-
She does go back
immediately
and
goes
do
back
it.
to
Yeah,
fight.
after a fucking gunshot goes off. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what it took? Okay.
You're right. That could have ended in a mutant dying. She doesn't know that girl's
Yeah.
powers. That could have ended in
At
somebody
all.
dead. A young mutant dead on the street because she was like, I don't want to do this.
Your entire country, all of your countrymen were just murdered by humans, and you're like, she'll be fine. Whatever.
Also,
I've gotta
she
go.
pulls her-
But she
pulls her
does
into the
rescue her.
concert with her phasing powers, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that security guard would find them in that fucking concert.
Yeah.
At that
He
point.
did immediately.
Yeah,
We've got a live one.
just
Well,
immediate.
We've got a live
He's
one.
also
It's an
he's also a
arena.
mutant.
There are stadiums filled with people.
Also,
And then
this
Kitty's
is
like, let's run through this wall straight into a security room with all the security people. I'm like, what the fuck?
I like
Why didn't you
this
just
guy.
float her up into the next stands? They would never have found you.
I like this guy who's just Curity.
Security.
He's just curious.
Security.
But so they're at a BSD concert, which I guess is like a BTS stand-in, kind of a K-pop. Must be some K-pop.
Probably, yeah. The way they're
I
all
mean,
dressed makes me
The
think
very
that
small image of him on the Jumbotron does look like an Asian man. But it's
I do
other than
in-
that, it's hard to tell.
In my mind, though, when I see this scene, I just imagine Josh Hartnett and his daughter.
Oh my God, that's what I imagine.
Like in the Trapped movie. I just imagine this as because it's like it looks just like it. It's a sparsely
security moving in.
Terrible movie, but fantastic performance by Josh Hartnett.
Oh,
Hartnett
really crushed that.
he really
ate that.
Did you guys watch that
it.
new Hartnett movie where he's? I called him Blonde Hartnett, but it's on the plane and he just fights a bunch of people. It's fantastic.
You mean the movie that is Bullet Train with Brad Pitt?
It's Bullet Train. Yeah, it's Bullet Train, but with Josh Hartnett
on an
on
airplane.
a plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Bullet Plane.
Tonight.
Bullet Plane.
Bullet Plane.
Anyway.
Also, why didn't Kitty just keep running phase? Like, why did she unphase to fight those people and then phase again?
Yeah, she unphases it. She's
keep
like,
going, girl.
You gotta teach haters a lesson.
Awesome.
You gotta teach haters a lesson.
Also, it'd be interesting if Kitty is afraid to be phased for too long because she phased that giant bullet through the planet and then she's stuck in her phased form for like 2 fucking years. That would be a cool thing to bring up every once in a while.
Yeah. Maybe, bring along some emotional baggage from decades long history that this character has.
No, but we're over that. It's fine.
Nah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I think this kind of that Patty, on that note, like that kind of like sums up sort of what I don't like about comics in general. Like just there's always like a lack of like memory of like what came before. Like it always would piss me off when like a new creative crew came onto Batman because the crew before would have like Two-Face did this crazy thing and he almost died and they lost him. They don't know. And then the next creative team would come on and then it'd be like, Two-Face is in Arkham. And you're like, that's not what happened. Clayface he fell off a cliff and almost died. I think he's dead. And then they're like, no, Clayface is in the cell right here.
He's in Arkham.
This is where we need to be. And it's just one of those things where it's like, can you at least just remember what the other team did with the characters before moving on to the next creative team? Like, the continuity editors are.
It was just Kitty's
fast and loose, with like
Kitty's character just seems so off in this book overall.
I think that's kind of the point, though. So like, it's sort of okay, but at the same time, I'm just like, but yeah, I get it. I'm.
But I don't know. I mean, I know it's the point, but there's a difference. There's a difference between off and just being like a completely bland, disconnected character from her history. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, I think obviously the entire point of this arc mostly is that the young kids bring Kitty back around to being like who she's supposed to be, kind of.
Right.
Thing.
Yeah.
But it is kind of hard pill to swallow with like that situation specifically with like we said, Patty with the gun. Like, come on. I don't know. There's a lot of like random. Like Kitty hands her license because she's like, just so you know, I'm not kidnapping you. I'm like, did we need that? That was weird. It's so weird.
I did like when so Bronze is talking about how embarrassed she is of being outed as a mutant, and she just says, "I will never recover from this."
But it's also like you almost just got shot in the face, and you're.
But it doesn't. I know
it doesn't
treat it with any. It doesn't treat it with any gravitas that like reality would treat the fact that you were almost shot
and
then the shot. Yeah, and it's.
I mean, she is crying and freaking out a little bit, but
she's still treating it like a game.
But again, it seems
maybe she wasn't worried about herself too much because she kind of knows what her powers were capable of. Like she was powered up at that point.
Well, so she could be in shock. She could be.
Yeah, that's true.
She could be in shock.
Well, if that was the case, then they could have had a follow-up scene where she was like, "Oh my god, I just got shot. I almost got shot," and freaked out. Like you need if shock is the answer, then you need when the shock wears off. Yeah. You need the scene where the shock wears off.
And anyway, as a thank you note, she gifts Kitty a set of horrible earrings. One is a star and one is a rainbow.
Again, I thought that was cute, but it was also like, how old is this girl? I can't figure it out.
That's how kids are these days,
Is it the 17-year-olds do that kind of stuff?
But 17? I don't like these are kind of ridiculous earrings. Although Kitty looks good in that little sleeveless.
She does look good.
But I don't like those earrings.
Neck. I was gonna say though again, like it's confusing because Bronze seems more upset about the fact people might know she's a mutant now, but then like her grandmother's like very supportive of mutants, and I'm just like, I just don't.
Yeah, but it's that idea of again, it's everyone's a teenager and in school, and so being popular about her, and it's more about that, like, oh, at school people. Well, no.
The world's against you, but your
Yeah.
family's with you.
Yeah.
I think is the
Anyway, that's the end of the issue. Lol, JK. It isn't. We get Emma.
I did enjoy
Lol,
Emma.
JK.
Lol, JK. It's not the end of the issue.
I thought it was funny, but why? You
Well,
troll
again,
your
it's like it's a disconnect as well when she says
The
Banshee
LOL,
boring. It's like Banshee was murdered by his ex-lover, and she skinned him and wore his skin as a suit to get into.
Oh my!
Like it's just like the detachment being like, if she said Banshee, too traumatized, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because Banshee makes sense because the Gen X, like Emma and Banshee, kind of like train the new recruits on Gen X.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah, Banshee boring.
But for her to just be like Banshee boring, like
I did like
yeah,
I did like Logan distasteful.
distasteful.
I did like
I
Logan
did read,
distasteful.
I did read Uncanny Spider-Man, which was Nightcrawler as Spider-Man.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
And that was kind of fun. I just love
it.
Nightcrawler.
Makes sense. It weirdly makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It overall it kind of felt like this though. It was like it felt like a little detached and like they don't know what to do with all the characters right now.
Well, that's why I don't think they know what to do. I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think they have any clue.
They don't. Okay, let's go to issue.
They need a Hickman-like type to bring it all back around.
They need a Hickman, not a Kirkman. All right, issue 2. Now we meet the rest of the team, aside from Bronze. And we meet them so Kitty is, as we mentioned, she's a newly minted bisexual woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on a date. Did you say asexual?
I don't know. He walked away right when after he said it.
I said bisexual.
Bisexual. Bisexual. Also like this look with a kind of rolled up t-shirt and the Converse shoes, but okay. Anyway, she goes on a date, and I don't remember the date's name because she never is a part of this comic ever again.
That's not true. She's back in one of the issues.
Is she?
Yeah, she comes in later. They're like, it's when Bobby shows up and her roommate's like, hey, I invited blah, blah, blah. Because I also don't remember her name. But she was like, I invited blah, 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 just because, or whatever. And it's when Bobby comes over to make dinner for Kitty.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Okay. We've been over this before. I skimmed these. I don't really read them. Okay.
Damn it.
So she's an important character. So her new girlfriend is an important character that we meet now. But they're at her niece's soccer practice. Soccer game. Scrimmage? Is it a full game or a scrimmage?
It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a full game. It's not a scrimmage. It's a full game. Yeah. But here they meet Axo and Melee.
Yeah. Tao?
Melee.
I just want to say to interrupt real quick. They brought a full like charcuterie board and a picnic to the soccer game.
Game.
They're making it.
I've been to about 1,000 soccer games.
Look at that full picnic basket treat.
I have never seen a spread like that in my entire life at a soccer game ever.
Have you gone to a soccer game with bisexuals before? Because maybe they're more into charcuterie.
You know what? I don't think at the time I knew they were, but now looking back, I'm like,
because if you think about it, charcuterie is meat and cheese, so it's 2 options.
Also, like some of those parents were probably bisexual, right? I just didn't know.
Oh, definitely have to be right.
There has to be at least like 2 in each crowd over 1,000 games.
For sure.
It'd be like 500 people. No, that'd be like 2,000 people. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, we meet Melee. She's
a lot.
She's great.
She's a lot. So Axo's kind of
the
an
entire time. Axo's like, I don't need you to do this. Please stop it. Just leave me alone. Like I don't need your help. And she's like, I'm gonna fight these guys. And you're just like, God damn it. Like I was annoyed. I was as annoyed as Axo was. I was just like, I get it, man. I'd be pissed too. He's like, just like a Cheeto hits his head and he just puts his headphones on.
He's like, is this girl really doing this right now?
So one question I have, so Melee's power, and so she can go invisible and or phase, right?
Yeah. And or, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Because there's the terrifying scene, Kitty saves them by phasing them through the bleachers, and then Melee.
And then
runs
she
off
phases
by
into a
herself.
bar, like she gets stuck in a bar.
Yeah, I'm like, shouldn't she be dead? She gets stuck in the middle of the bar. Is it just the portion the bar's in is phased and the rest of her body is solid? That was really terrifying.
You'd have to talk to a
don't-
doctor about that. I couldn't answer.
Yeah,
I don't have the medical
I
training.
assume that like she's just stuck there for some reason, but obviously not like with a metal bar through her body, like whatever that means.
If I was Axe, I'd be like, "Oh my god, you're alive! What the fuck? What do we do?"
I love that I'm jumping forward, but I love when they're going over their goals and he's like, I just don't want people to just emotionally dump their garbage on me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm around them. And I was like, she's like, okay, well, good goal. We can work on that. Anyway, dumb fight with racists, and then they phase. And...
Also, I'm sorry. One of the common threads of this is that all 3 New Mutants can't use their powers at will.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that if I was a mutant and I got superpowers, I think I would just be focused on practicing my mutant powers nonstop.
Practice with my powers.
But okay,
I would drop out of school. My parents wouldn't even know where I was half the time because I'm probably in the middle of a field in case I blew up the house, whatever, depending on what my powers were. Just like I'd just be like, all right, well, let me see if I can fly.
Can I address that?
Like that? Like I would just be nonstop.
Yeah, I beg the kids from Chronicle, you know?
Okay. Can I address that point in a non-fun way?
No.
Can I make this
No,
unfunny immediately?
You cannot.
So historically, obviously, mutants in the X-Men universe have always been allegories for minorities, marginalized groups, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This book clearly sets them up as allegories for non-cis heterosexual people.
Sure.
And historically, people in that community have felt a lot of pressure to not be who they are and to hide what they are and to not, to your point, learn their powers and practice that, but to instead hide that and ignore it.
They all have supportive families though.
Yeah, that's what's weird. You can't have it both ways. That's what's so fucking weird about all this.
Maybe
if their parents were like, "You're a mutant, get the fuck out! You're no son of mine," or whatever, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." They're repressed on all levels. They have safe spaces.
Yeah,
but is like literally like, hey, by the way, your cousin's also a mutant. Can you talk to her?
Yeah,
what? I was like,
it's like super chill.
So I want to say that because they're safe at home doesn't necessarily mean they're safe at school.
That's
with
true.
Their peers, which is
I'm sorry, I would still be. I would, especially if I was AXA. That power seems annoying. Like I would, but also that's a little bit dangerous. I guess his power is probably the most terrifying, I would say, out of the
three. I just want to give Ewing a little bit of benefit of the doubt and credit here. I do think she was trying to set up that dynamic of
that's fine.
They're in a world that they're in a world that teaches them to not want to perfect their powers and to pretend they don't have them.
100%.
Sure, but Melee has a fucking newsletter about mutants and mutant rights. Like she's not ashamed.
Well, there's also just the note of like,
but she also
as a reader, we've read this story before, so I'm just kind of bored with. Like, I want to read a comic where someone's like, "Oh, I'm fucking into it." At least one of the 3 would be like, "Oh yeah, I practice all the time. I got this shit down."
But also
or whatever, like that would be fun.
But prior to Kitty Pryde, also none of these 3 mutants have an in-person real mentor to help them learn their powers and guide them through that.
Sure. Yeah.
Just like with sexuality, we all need an older person to groom us.
If I found out that I had powers tomorrow, I'd be at Patrick's house the next day being like, check this shit out. Like, and I was like, I don't know how it works yet, but look at this.
Okay.
Look at these
so anyway, scene shift. They're at a malt shop because that's what kids do. They go to malt shops now.
Well, yeah, that's also a callback to Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. Kitty takes him to the same place. Now,
we get the flashback to Ororo.
I thought it was funny that the flashback doesn't involve Wolverine looking at porn or getting in fights with the guy that owns the shop. I thought that was a little weird, a weird omission. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Melee's character is that she does annoy the shit out of me and like rush into things, but then she seems to be pretty self-aware about when she fucks up, and she's like, "Hey,
yeah, that's true."
She self-corrects pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Unlike Raphael or the Wolverine type.
Right. Yeah.
Wolverine still today looks at porn and starts fights in mall shops.
Yeah.
He hasn't learned. He hasn't learned
He
from
hasn't
his
learned a
mistakes.
goddamn thing.
I
And
thought Kitty
then-
was funny. I thought Kitty was funny when the kids show up at her door.
Yeah,
and,
that's funny.
Melee threatens to phase through, and she goes, "No shade, but can you?"
Yeah, that was funny. Also,
Pretty funny.
I did like that in lieu of helping them, Kitty was just like, why don't you guys just all get together? Leave me out of it. Like, that was kind of a funny solution. I mean, it worked for 5 whole fucking minutes, but like, it was just a funny idea that she tried that first before she got really involved. She's like, I have an idea. Why don't you guys all meet each other and just talk?
Yeah.
Leave me out of it.
This issue ends with, of course, the first appearance of the White Queen.
Yes, and I kind of loved that because the way the artist did it, she's obviously controlling mentally the three kids, and she comes
she's
off it's very
Pipering them
villainous,
out.
you know.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Emma fucked with Kitty when she was that age or younger.
Exactly.
And
That
look at her.
exact
So
this
it-
exact thing
yeah.
happened. She's like, come to my school, not Charles Xavier's.
Yeah.
But again, this run is filled with Dark Phoenix
Yeah,
references.
parallels to the Dark Phoenix is pretty fun. I have
And
to say.
Emma coming off.
You just muted again.
You
What's
just muted
happening?
again now. Is your mic
Issue
automatically
3.
muting?
Let's not talk about it. Issue 3. Okay.
But we missed your point.
I didn't have a point. Issue 3 is my point.
I love Bronze's leggings. I like that little accent to her outfits.
Oh, there's tall socks?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
What are
yeah.
those called? I guess
I
they're
don't
not leggings. What are they? I don't know what that Art Club clothing's called. But
No, I think they were called leggings in the like the
I think leggings would probably go.
Well, now
all
a
the way up to
legging
Black
is like
Canary.
athletic pants for women. But I don't
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
but I don't know what those big bulky 80s socks were called. I feel like they were called leggings. But now I'm questioning myself. Does Emma have telekinetic powers? I thought it was just telepathy.
Yeah, that was like a whole debate.
She can do
She can do psi blast. So like, it's.
I think
not
it's a psi
telekinesis,
blast
but-
that they artistically made to look kind of like ice.
No, but they're literally ripping
No,
the boards up
it's-
because the woman comes or Kitty's roommate comes in and goes like, "What the fuck? Don't tear up the
Yeah,
hallway."
it's telekinetic. That's what I mean. It's telekinetic, but it's
I think it's more like she can throw energy out, but she can't not like Jean where she can like lift something up and levitate it and like move
Right.
it around. Like
it's
I think
like
she
an
can
energy, like a.
I don't think I
telekinetic
knew
energy
she could do
blast.
that. So like when she was doing that, I was like, "What the fuck's happening?"
a lot of people didn't because I feel like it was like a random Reddit thread I've stumbled upon. And people
Oh, really?
talking
Of like
about
other
this
people going like,
fight.
"What the fuck's going on here?"
And someone was like, actually, yeah, if you read like whatever issue, she's done this before, but she's not like a true telekinetic. I think it's just like so much mental energy coming out
Yeah,
of her
okay.
that it produces a
Yeah.
mechanical wave.
I do like it visually because it kind of looks like
Visually,
ice.
it looks cool shit. I like
And
it.
it sort of looks like Todoroki in My Hero Academia when he does.
Oh,
ice
yeah,
blast.
very much
It
so.
looks like that.
Kinda,
So that was
I
kinda
got
cool.
like a little bit of like a Kira vibes of just like raging out
Yeah.
and shit ripping up
Yes.
around them.
Yeah.
This is back to an earlier point, though. This issue specifically, I felt like all of her lines were just a little forced, though. I don't know. It just kind of felt awkward.
Yeah,
All
she-
of
Again, I
her-
think that's why I wished because, well, in my opinion, Emma does put on a character most of the time. Of
Yeah.
like this, kind of. I don't know. I might have to edit out, but I was going to say cunty, like
You don't
clever.
You can
clever,
say that.
mean,
You can say that.
she's a cunt, like in a good way. But I think she puts that air on, and that's why
She's
I
a-
wish she
she's a
had a
badass bitch.
more.
She's a badass.
I wish she
bitch.
had a more down to earth conversation with Kitty because I feel like their relationship is so vulnerable since Astonishing X-Men. And but you're
Yeah,
right.
they
I feel
just kind of
like
like
she was saying-
reference it like we have history, and you're like, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
a
like your
lot.
history would have stopped you from just fighting with each other like idiots.
And they
You
were
know what
like
I mean?
besties. They were like besties during the Krakoa stuff. So the fact that
Yeah.
it's this, I don't know.
I also, it's a
I
conceit.
do like them together though, so I like that they ended up in this book
Yes.
together.
Yeah, but this
I
is a
like how the
conceit-
characters shook out. I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but I do. So this is a conceit like all over anime and comics too. But this idea that like if you meet someone in real life, that maybe you've had a falling out with, you don't physically battle each other. When you meet, it's like it's something that only happens in fiction where they're like, oh, let's fight, and then afterwards it's like, oh, you old scoundrel, remember me. That doesn't, like, real life doesn't, you don't
me
do
and
that.
Patrick do that all the time.
Okay, well, I know you do. I did. So this issue, the only time I laughed in this whole run was when Kitty's roommate says, oh, isn't this your principal from whatever academy? And both Kitty and Emma just say Massachusetts Academy.
Yeah, but
like they both like do the same lie. I laughed at that.
Right, which is funny, but at the same time, you're just like, what? Well, clearly she knows that Kitty's a mutant, and like, what's going on?
Also, how are
why are they lying? I was like, what's the point of that? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
the other
know.
thing too is going back to, like, if you were on the Krakoa ruling council, how are you anonymous now?
I don't know.
How are you?
It's
What?
also fucking
Anonymous
weird,
now.
man.
Like the White Queen is
also-
like an
it's-
entrepreneur,
Yeah, that's like a
billionaire,
world famous
whatever.
human being.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
She was the head of the Hellfire Club, which was in
Even
the
if you're,
Krakoa
like,
stuff, like
not-
a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, even if you're not like, I don't know, currently doing what you had been doing, and it's been a while, but it hasn't been like 20 years. You know what I mean? I don't know. How to
It'd be
describe it.
like if
Like a celebrity from 20 years ago, we all still kind of remember who they are. Like, like we're not going to be like, oh, Britney Spears, or something like that. I've never heard of you before. Like,
it'd
be like, oh, it's fucking Britney Spears. She
it'd be
hasn't
like
done
if
anything in 20 years.
if in 2005 you saw Michael Jackson and he's like, oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck? They were a worldwide phenomenon.
You're like, no, I know you were Michael Jackson.
Like, why? How on earth?
Yeah.
Does she walk around anywhere without like people just being like, "Holy shit, it's the White Queen"? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is where Kitty's roommate talks about tax evasion and write-offs and gives them her
Which
warehouse.
is so weird and random. Well, if I gift it to you, it's a tax write-off. Like, why is that line in this comic?
Well, before that, the one part that I laughed laughed out loud. So Melee, Emma's like just talking, and Melee's like, well, no offense, but who are you? And she goes, Emma Frost, the White Queen, past headmistresses of multiple esteemed institutions for the preparation of talented young mutants, global mercantile entrepreneur, principal figure in the Hellfire Club, the X-Men, Frost International, the Krakoan Quiet Council. Catherine never mentioned me, shame, but trust me, dears, I have much to offer. You by way of instruction. And then Bronze whispers to Melee, did she say White Queen? No, she did. I thought that was the best line of the entire. She gives that entire list. She says White Queen. The second thing out of her mouth is White Queen.
And then all the
entire
shit,
time being like,
did
she say White Queen?
Yeah,
that's rackest. I know this.
She does. I mean, it is a pretty girl boss resume she's got, though.
But also, Melee's just like, she did. Like,
one other side note I want to make is, so the roommate has a ballet studio she rents out to them. Also, her corgi Mickey is named after Mikhail Baryshnikov, who is a famous ballet dancer.
That's correct.
So many ballet references.
I like that at the very next page, the panel of Axo going like, Kitty, you were just fighting her. Like, now we're having tea? I'm confused. Do you trust her or what? He's just like, yes, it's complicated. I don't know. Like, I don't want to get into it right now. But at the same time, you're just like, maybe that's when you do get into it.
Again, like
these young children to like trust you and and trust both of you. Wouldn't you be like, listen, let me download some history into your brain real quick? Not that I want to read it per se, but I'm just like,
So again, we'll get to it if it's relevant. It's relevant here, but the fact that Emma is kind of playing of a caricature of herself, but when it gets like serious later on, Kitty's depressed about how things happened, and Emma's like, you should have been upfront with them about what this fucking means and like what it means to be a mutant and what this shit, like what reality is for them, instead of trying to sugarcoat this shit. I don't know, that dynamic was fun for me. I did appreciate Kitty being overly self-aware of how much influence she has over these teenagers, and because she makes a comment about how she thought she was making decisions for herself when she was younger, but she really wasn't. And I think I did like that
common
aspect
thing for all teenagers. They think they're they think they're in control and they think they understand what's going on, but like they don't realize how adults can be manipulative and like kind of move them in certain directions, and that they don't necessarily want to go in.
Well, to also to that point about Emma saying like you should have been honest, I do appreciate Kitty, just that instinct of I don't want to have a child army like Professor X did.
Right.
Like that's the fucked up goal anyway. So I appreciate her.
It is that balance.
Speaking of goals, I like the goals conversation. I liked how she was like, I just want to know what you guys actually want to get out of this. And she's like, you're not, and they start going off on tangents of like superhero names and costumes. And she's like, we're not trying to make you guys heroes. We're trying to train you guys in your powers enough to where you can like live in the world and be like, okay. Like
one thing I didn't like,
robot sentinels.
Yeah.
Like,
one thing I didn't like is this giant whiteboard with just intro and goals written out there. I don't think we needed that. I think, I did. So the moment where I started
liking, use a PowerPoint.
But the moment I started like, first of all, Kitty, I like her in that flash dance, one sleeve down look.
Yeah.
But when I liked Bronze was when she just said, "Oh, I came up with names for everybody," and she came up with perfect fucking names for everyone, and that was amazing. Melee, Bronze, and Axo are great names for all three of them.
I feel like Bronze is a little weak.
I don't know. I think it's. I think it's pretty great. Point, like
Colossus's name isn't Steel. You know, I don't know. Come on.
But Colossus is also tall.
Steel doesn't doesn't roll off the tongue like Bronze does. You know,
okay.
Steel.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of like Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. Like Liquid Snake doesn't really make any sense.
What about Solid Disc Snake?
Solid Disc Snake makes way more sense than Liquid Snake.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. I feel like a little bit more thought process could have gone into like what she's capable of.
Bronzer.
Along the lines of a Colossus as his name, it makes more sense than calling him Organic Steel. You know
Whiplash. I mean? She could have been Whiplash.
Boring. Also taken.
Okay, and then Emma arrives with costumes, and actually, I kind of like the costumes though.
And I agree with Emma too, being like they'll take it more seriously with costumes. Like you have to like.
Dress I
kind of believe in dress.
I was like, I get
that. Dress for the job you want.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know,
I like how
my other favorite...
You started off sitting in circles and talk about your feelings. She's like, well, it's a little more hands-on. Well, I did some shit.
So my favorite Emma moment is, so they're attacked by all these goblins that they fight, and then at a certain point, Axo says, "These aren't real. She's doing it." And when she points at Emma, she's just got this, to Patrick's point, cunty grin on her face. I love that little panel of her, just like, yeah, it was me. It was me.
It's funny because when it first happened,
she's took you long enough.
She's like with them in the circle with her hands up, and she's like, even that looks half-hearted. She's like, because of course, as soon as it started, she like walked off to the side and just stood there, like, you know, like she was like, oh no, monsters. It was just like, all right, I gotta go over here. It's pretty funny.
And then the end of this issue is I want a quick side note on
Kitty fall
Iceman.
for that, by the way? What the fuck? Come on.
Sorry. Well, her mind's elsewhere. Her mind was already on her.
But little demon things attacking them out of nowhere. Come on, come
on. Well, Kitty's fought the Goblin Queen before, and shit. I guess she knows goblins exist and to be afraid.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, maybe she's like very focused on protecting the kids, so she's not.
Yeah.
Really thinking,
I guess so.
Look, she's focused on her neck. Her neck.
I would have immediately been like, Emma, you fucking asshole.
Iceman arrives. A quick Iceman conversation. He used to be like a main X-Man. I feel like he's just completely what is he now?
He used
to be a main X-Man.
Yeah.
No,
now he's just this
it's weird that he's kind of a backup character in this book because he had his own book that was like a mini series. During the Krakoa stuff, he was elevated to like his powers go insane. He can like make clones of himself and all kinds of insane stuff.
Oh, really?
So it is weird to see him kind of playing.
He's just a weird, ineffectual spy for Rogue.
I guess. Even to the point where he's acting so weird that Kitty thinks it might not really be him. That's how bad of a job he's doing.
Also, I feel like I want to be careful how I say this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like every time he's introduced, they introduce like some kind of side note, and he's gay now.
Yeah.
And I want to really emphasize, I don't mind that, like, it's fine, great that he's gay, like that part's cool. But I feel like every time you re-meet him, they have to like really advertise, by the way, he's gay right now.
Yeah.
And I don't like, why do we have to do that?
They do that. Yeah.
Every time.
They do that. They do that.
It's the Marvel way. It's the Marvel way out. Every comic is someone's first comic.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't. That's the part that is weird to me. Again, I don't mind that they went that direction.
They also
with the
say
character,
this is
but
Bobby Drake. He's the Iceman.
He is the Iceman. But I just mean, in terms of comic history,
I get what you're
just
saying.
weird, because he used to be
weird.
a founding.
It
main
feels
X-Man.
shoehorned. You know why? Because it's a big change to the character, and it feels like they're drubbing you over the head with it, whereas they could just let it be and be a thing.
So in conjunction to my first point, it's just weird because, again, he was a founding X-Man, like major character, and now it feels like he's this weird side character who's the gay one now. And it's weird, and again, I don't mind that, but it's weird that that's kind of become his character, is that he's the gay Iceman who's a side character.
The gay Iceman.
Which I kind of it makes I get your point though. Yeah, they do kind of hit you over the head with it.
Yeah, it just feels like they're just like, by the way, he's gay now.
And feel free to edit this out, because I hate to bring. I mean, again, I don't mind.
Well, for instance, they don't do that with Tim. Yeah. They just go like,
yeah, right.
They don't go like, hey, Tim's gay now, by the way, or like, or bi, or whatever. Like they don't say anything like
or
that.
Bi.
Well, I mean, whatever he identifies with. I forget what it is. What is Tim? Is he bi?
It'd be great.
Remember? Because they don't tell me every 5 seconds. So
it'd be great if every comic, when they introduce Tim, they're like, oh, it's Tim, and he's gay or bi. We're not sure.
We don't know.
We're not sure.
For instance, I just read Batman #3. By the way, the new Batman book is spectacular. But Batman #3, he's dating his child friend. Forget his name.
Child friend or childhood?
Dating
friend?
His childhood friend.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
They were friends for like ever in Tim's book. They were friends forever. It's like his best friend. Anyway, so they're dating now, and basically Bruce shows up at the Tim's beat up from issue 2 and issue 3. Bruce shows up at the hospital. He's like, hey Tim, how you doing, pal? And he brought like flowers and stuff, and then immediately his friend's like, hey Bruce, can I talk to you outside? And Bruce was like, what the fuck? And Tim's like, what's happening? Like, so confused. And the friend brings him outside. And he's like, hey, I just noticed that every time you and Tim go off and have your pal weekends and shit and whatever you're doing, he always comes up beat the fuck up. He always comes up beat up. And I was and he's like, thanks, Bruce. And he grabs the flowers and like walks away. And Bruce is like in the waiting room, like, what the hell just happened? And it's hilarious because they can't tell him obviously that he's Robin. But at the same time, it was just like this adorable, like, hey,
so he thinks,
I notice every time my boyfriend hangs out with you, Bruce, he ends up with bruises and broken bones. Like kind of thing. And I'm like, what is that implying? What do you think's going on?
So does he think Bruce is beating him?
I don't think so, but no, it's
more okay with
that.
It also, is he okay?
But it was
like,
it was way more playful than that. But it was like in the sense of like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing, but every time he skis down a hill with you, he ends up without skis and cart rolls into a tree, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay,
issue 4.
Issue 4.
And this is another cool Bronze moment. And I know this is an Emma Danger Room, so it's not real, but Bronze takes a full-on Sentinel blast and shrugs it off, which is pretty cool.
Well, she also says, I can't take too many more of those.
Okay, but still, how many can you take, asshole? How many
0.
can you take?
I thought it was awesome. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, great.
I like that she was self-actualized enough to be like, I can't do that all day. I have to figure out a way to beat this thing. I thought it was cool.
Was it all in Emma? It was just a psychic projection.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah, the Danger Room is Emma, essentially.
Yeah, but still, I think it's so. I know it's not real, but still, that's pretty badass to take on a Sentinel blast and just kind of.
This is total like side tangent. But does Axe's powers work on mutants? Because I feel like he's with mutants a lot, and they don't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like they, or maybe it does. Well, it does because he knew that Melee was going to smash the thing. Yeah. So maybe
but
they're
not as strongly
projecting
team,
like blah emotions out of their mouths or whatever in front of them.
So yeah. His
Also,
power.
Emma is actively working to help him with the power, so like maybe that's part of it too. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, to your earlier point, I'm now seeing Kitty's girlfriend at the Shabbat dinner.
Yeah.
She is definitely back in the comic book. It didn't just disappear.
She did not just disappear.
I love, since we're going with this word, since you guys are good with it, because it's not like one of my favorite words, but I love how cunty Kitty's being to Bobby during this dinner.
Oh yeah, she's like, "Why the fuck are you here?" And he's like,
"Well, because she senses. She senses
when she goes, when she goes, "Go home, please." He goes, "Kitty, She goes, "I'm not asking." Like, yes.
Also, I thought it was funny when like when him and Emma are sitting at like right after Bronze's Sentinel danger room thing. Bobby's sitting there and he like helps Bronze up and he's like, "Oh, I thought my phone was on silent. My bad." And he walks out to take a phone call and Emma's like, "I don't trust this." And I'm like, "What?" He's just using his phone for us. Like, why is it immediately like this is espionage? You know, like why isn't he just like I?
But it was. I mean, she's right.
Well, she's not wrong, but at the same time, they're making it seem like it's going to be this big thing, or it might not even be Bobby. And it absolutely is, and he's just there because Rogue and Gambit are concerned. That's it.
Look, Joe.
Also, the text on Bobby's phones are like status, like so they're trying to make it vague. And I'm like, when the fuck would Rogue be like status ? She'd be like, "Bobby, what's going on with?" It would say Rogue, and then the word bubble would say, "Hey, what's going on with Kitty? Is she okay?" Or like blah blah blah. It wouldn't be like status update, Robert, you know, or whatever. Like what the fuck?
I also love how the top half of the phone screen is in big font.
Encryption
engaged. I love that. Like, all right, that's high tech right there. So this next scene with Bronze is what I don't.
On his phone a lot. What an asshole! Like, be in the moment, you know.
But the next scene on stage with Bronze is what I don't like about comics is when, for no reason whatsoever, interdimensional beast.
That was like that was the thing that I was talking about. Like, it's just like there's not enough fights, so let's just throw something in there, and you're like,
well, I love how there's a footnote that says it's a demon beast released from interdimensional fracture. See X-Force number 5.
You know what? That actually made me laugh because that's such an old school move of like an editor's note being stuck into a book.
But honestly, without that note, I'd be like, "Well, that was fucking random as fuck." I don't know.
Well, that's the point.
But even with the note, it's
random
still
as fuck
and pointless.
Yeah.
But it does. But it is a way. So the context is she's trying.
I mean, it's just like imagine a world where you can be a theater teacher and a giant
monster
can pop up out of nowhere.
If the person on stage wasn't a mutant, you would have been murdered.
Oh my god!
Like, so I do want to seriously address that point. You all say that, however, show business's number one operating principle is the show must go on.
Oh yeah,
that's true. So even if an interdimensional beast attacks, the show must go on. You just brush that off your shoulder and go on to the next thing.
People pay good money for this too.
Okay, this is what I thought was hilarious from this entire scene. The theater director is like, "Well, that's the lead. Respectfully, for that role, I need someone who can stand and deliver. You seem hesitant, blah blah blah." And then maybe play the part of Marianne, the mousy housemaid. And then after she beats this giant monster, he's like, "All right, how about stand in for the lead?" And like stand by for
not the lead.
Like, still not gonna give you the lead.
Save my life.
Maybe a stand in for a supporting role.
How about backup?
Yeah,
pretty funny.
So one other thing that the other time in this run I know I said I only left once, but I left twice. And I don't know if I can explain why, but Rogue, the art, she looks like she just watched her daughter get killed. Like she looks completely crestfallen.
She's devastated.
And she says, "Kitty, sugar, hello." And then she goes, "Oh, damn it, she hung up." And I don't know why, but I just laughed at that because like the facial expression doesn't match the "oh, damn it, she hung up."
Oh, she hung up.
It's just a weird. I just laughed at that.
Yeah, that's true. That is funny. It's pretty fucked up that she puts her hand into Bobby's chest and is about to kill him without knowing for sure if it's Bobby or not.
Yeah, does she think he's a Skrull or something?
Like,
what's going on?
Shit.
I don't know who she's probably paranoid as hell.
Yeah, I guess.
not to back up all the way, but this issue
Yeah.
is very Bronze focused, and I
Yeah.
think my favorite character beat of hers is the internal monologue in the first few pages.
Yeah,
It
it
just
is
says,
pretty great.
She says, "Be strong. That's what people have told me my whole life. When my mom had to go away, be strong, girl Trista. My grandma every day, that's my strong girl. Go out and show them. TV, movies, pop stars, everybody says the same thing. No one ever says be gentle, be peaceful, be lovely." And I thought that was the most like insight into her character that we got from the entire 5 issues.
What do
'Cause
you
it's
think
like her
about the
power
writing
is very-
style of breaking the fourth wall that the characters are doing?
That was kind of odd to me. Almost
That
to the
was
point where I was
jarring.
like, did they mean to make these dialogue
I also, by
passages,
the way, I'm
or-
sorry I cut you off. I also love that beat.
No, I just thought that was kind of
really,
like the
I really
best,
plowed over that.
that was like the best bit of.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought it was very succinct writing that gave you very good insight into where she's at and
Yeah,
what she's
I
doing.
agree.
That's
But
my
no,
strong girl.
to your point.
Yeah, but it was so Kitty does
Your
it
point.
like, early on.
Yes, Kitty
yeah,
does it as
and
well. Kitty
yeah.
and Bronze both do it.
Yeah,
They talk
Bronze,
out
like
loud.
she literally
But it's
like
not
looks
consistent.
at the
It's not
camera.
consistent,
Right, it's
and it's
not.
not like a consistent narrator. Even
Yeah, if that
within
was like
issues,
every
it's
issue is
weird,
it was like a different narration or something, and like from Emma's perspective, and then from Bronze's, and then from like Melee's, I'd be like, oh,
But
okay.
why would you be saying it out loud?
And they all kind of
why
like
not?
talk at the camera. I'd be like, oh, okay, that's kind of fine. But like,
Yeah.
it's so random and just really like interjected at, I don't know, the strangest times. I don't know. I thought
She's opening her locker and she goes, and I always thought, what if something wanted to be something else?
Yeah.
It's like, who are you talking to?
the next page is even worse. She like turns around and is like, so do I go for the musical? Like she's talking to us. Like, she's like, do I go for it, guys? What do you think? Comment below.
Oh,
It was
no.
fucking weird. I was like, what is happening?
Patrick, she's actually talking to a interdimensional magical cat who can gift girls with powers.
I mean,
trust it.
yeah, in the very next scene, interdimensional demon comes through and then she fights it. So
Yeah.
like maybe she is talking to something else.
Okay, so then at the end of the issue, in that confrontation between Bobby and Kitty, she reveals that she murdered people by yelling at Bobby.
Yeah, and then they all hear it.
Melee doesn't like it, and Melee says, "I quit."
Well, they all
I
are
quit.
upset, but at the same time, I'm like, do you not know who she is? Again, it's like one of those
Yeah,
things where
they're
I'm like, how do you
X-Men.
not know
What
who
the
Emma
fuck?
is? How do you not like? Maybe you don't know who Kitty is in the grand scheme of things, or like what she's done, but like you have to have heard of the X-Men at this point in your life in this world. Like, I don't know.
I quit. I won't have it.
I'm a mutant and I've killed people. You've killed
Also,
people? Yeah.
another little complaint of mine. In all the covers, Kitty has this uniform that she never wears in any of the issues.
Never wears it. Never
They
wears it.
will eventually. Well, that being said,
Never
that's-
Um,
so Axo's
Emma though,
has
Emma
spikes.
has ultimate Batman. I mean, absolute Batman cape things.
Oh yeah, she has a cape tendril.
that is kind of cool.
Well, Melee is the only one that wears the normal costume that they're all wearing throughout this first arc on the cover still. Axos has spikes and it's like slightly different color. Bronze's is purple or pink or whatever color her hair is.
Yeah,
I'm saying, like they are
but
wearing
they're all
different
red
costumes
in the issue. Yeah,
on the covers that they will probably eventually wear. We're just not there yet.
We'll get there.
Al, back to your point about Iceman. The dialogue is literally, so Bobby, how did you meet Kate? And he goes, oh, we grew up together, dated for a while, but turns out I'm gay. It reminds me of like John Early's character from Search Party or anything John Early's ever been in. Like, just over the top. I'm gay.
Turns out, guess what, boys? Watch out for the old ice dude.
Exactly what I mean. I feel like every time we're reintroduced to Bobby, it's a line like that or something to like, don't forget.
Which is so weird. It's weird that they smash you over the head with that, but then like they so not that it's subtle that Kitty's dating a woman, but
yeah,
it was played down so much that I didn't know this was the first time. Like to like,
right,
if Patty hadn't told me
yeah.
this was the first time she was dating a woman, I would have just assumed that they had done this earlier in another book, and it's just
Yeah.
a new thing with the character that I wasn't aware. When Bobby was gay, wasn't it when the young version of them were in the future? So is like the future Bobby oh, I am, or like what happened there? Like I don't understand.
So
Like,
it's
is there any
literally,
explanation of that at all, or like I don't know. I was kind of like in and out.
I feel like Bendis got hate for it, but I think it's like one of my favorite X-Men scenes ever. But young Jean, like she gets her telepathy, but Professor X isn't there to like help her
Okay.
train her with it. So she reads everyone's minds and like knows Bobby's gay, and she goes up to young Bobby and she's like, "You're gay," and
Yeah.
it's like, "What the fuck? You shouldn't read my mind like that." And she's like, "Why haven't you come out? You're like, we're all fine with it."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, the older version isn't out, and I've never read anything where like they had like a discussion. It was the fact. I think the younger version of him is like so disappointed that the older version never came out. But I think it's explained like the older version. I mean, I guess kind of what we were talking about earlier. He was so ashamed of being a mutant and had to like process being a mutant that like he couldn't handle coming out of the closet.
Also,
being gay. Yeah. That's why he never came out. But that
so
is
like young gay version of Bobby gave older version of Bobby the strength to come out. Is that maybe what happened?
Well, he was put in a situation where they're the same person.
Yeah, and they're like,
so
well,
Jean
I guess I'm out now.
Jean kind of, not kind of outed him. Jean 100%.
Not cool, young Bobby and young Jean.
Honestly, that run
Bobby
is
didn't want to do that.
I fucking loved it, but yeah.
I was just curious as to how that worked with like young Bobby and older Bobby.
I think there is an issue where they have a younger Bobby and older Bobby have a discussion about it.
Oh, okay.
I just don't remember it.
Okay.
If it happened, I rember.
Thank you for reading more X-Men comics than me.
Yeah. That's definitely more context than I have. All right, issue 5. We get a flashback.
Kitty flashback to being a ninja and murdering people.
Well, also to being a pirate. We get a little pirate flashback.
A little pirate.
The ninja one, another point. I know this is the third time that I've laughed, so I've revealed more laughs. But she's in a Kyoto textile shop and gets attacked by ninjas, and her expression here is just like, "Oh, I guess we'll fight."
Yeah.
Well, this is when she's like a stone cold killer because.
Oh yeah, this is her definitely like this is full.
She definitely kills at least one of them, right?
She is just fully murdering people.
What'd you say, Patty?
She definitely kills at least one of those ninjas.
Look at the. I mean, I'll try to.
She phases a spool of fabric through his heart.
Yeah, thank you. You saw that too. I was like, this is it right here.
I don't think you survived that. Yep, I don't think
the point where Yukio's
through his
like,
body. That's through his body.
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
He's dead.
I mean, the rest of the guys look like knocked out and on the ground, and there's just one that's like being propped up with a stick through his abdomen. Anyway,
and I don't know Yukio that well, but I think she's like an assassin, like Blade Deathstrike kind of.
I know almost nothing about.
But also
she's the redhead in the Wolverine Origins, or not Origins, the Wolverine
X-Men. Oh, the Wolverine. Yeah, the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
So the fact that she's kind of shading Kitty for being so violent, I think if we maybe knew Yukio better, that would be me.
But also, this is another conceit of like action movies like this is I've got to get special gear from this person and go to, you just need a sword, right?
She just needs fabric for a costume.
You need a sword and a ninja suit. You really have to go to Kyoto for that?
So the color scheme she has in the covers of that costume is the color scheme she had in the costume during Fall of X, where she has it's like a ninja costume though. It's like Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And I literally think she's just getting the fabric to make that costume from Yukio's fabric shop. I don't know why Yukio has a fabric shop,
it's special ballistic thread, like
maybe I guess they don't really go into that, but
they do in Daredevil the show or whatever.
I guess it's enough for Kitty to not really care about killing at least one guy.
All right, so another question. What's this page? Are these people she's murdered? Like, is that what that is?
Are they Orcus people she killed?
They're Orcus people, but I don't know if she specifically killed them. I think they're just the ones that were responsible for the fall of Krakoa. But maybe she did. I don't know. I don't remember how Fei Long died. Fei Long was the big bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like she murdered them, but I could.
It seems like she did,
but it doesn't say it, so I'm not like 100% sure on that.
Yeah,
also, it's weird. They wear pennies, like when they're training the students. They wear like Melee has a green penny on, and
also
they wear shirts over.
Why is Axo's shirt so dirty? What is he?
Yeah, doing? Why is it a potato sack?
Why?
Well,
why are you wearing a potato sack? But why is it so dirty?
But this is the weird thing to me. So issue 5 is the last issue in the trade. I have nothing to say. Like, it was the least interesting issue.
I mean, it's
why end it
again?
Why is this the end of the arc? It's the nothing.
The one page. Go ahead. Yes, Patty. Is it the same page? Is it Emma? Is it Emma and Kitty?
Yes.
Yep.
That was. I'm like, the whole issue.
I almost teared up.
The whole fucking issue should have been this. It's one.
But it was one page. Yeah, it's one page.
That was.
But issue should have been this.
But when Emma was like, "It has everything. It has everything to do with them," and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
That that kind of like I was like, "Oh, Emma."
Girls, talk it out.
Yeah, I know. And then the next page, you're like, "Oh, it's not them." And I was like, "No."
I know, it goes back to Melee. I'm like, they should have had a whole issue like with the Jean and Emma thing from New X-Men, where Jean like goes into Emma's mind, and it's all like,
yeah, that would have been fucking.
Tricky. Yeah, like they should have had something like that. It's just
maybe. I mean, I haven't read Exceptional X-Men number 6 through 12 or whatever they're on, but maybe they get into it.
Maybe
at some point soon. Maybe that's leading up to an inevitable conversation, I guess.
But this issue is mostly.
I have read that, but I don't really remember them really talking about it. Again, this run, it's like, I think the first story arc's like 11 or 12 issues. It's still very much this, like it's like very a lot of character work. The storyline and the plot isn't that exciting. Like it's.
And this, I mean, this issue is very Melee and I don't like Melee, but most of it is Melee finding herself, and then
again, I feel like eventually she could be a fun character, but yeah, she just rushes into everything, kind of makes everything.
Also, before we go into, do you guys hear? I don't know if I'm having audio issues, but do you all hear this kind of like buzzing? The sort of does this pass the Bechdel test? Does this pass the Bechdel test?
The answer is probably no.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, but it does.
This is a yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. We just talked about a scene.
It does like a lot. It does a lot.
It does.
We just talked about that page between Emma and Kitty, which definitely passes.
I mean, Kitty goes on a date.
Nonstop.
You know,
there's
a lot of conversations between Kitty and her roommate.
Actually, I don't think if we're going to do a reverse Bechdel test, I don't think there's a single conversation between two men where they don't talk about a woman.
That might be true. That might be true.
Bobby's talking on the phone at some point. We don't know who he's talking to.
He's talking to Rogue.
He could be talking about Gambit.
Rogue.
He says Rogue and Gambit are very concerned about you.
Could be.
Yeah, this issue is mostly about her. Melee's cousin develops mutant powers, but she's she's one of the mutants that Charles Xavier wouldn't like let into his school because she's like physically looks like a mutant.
Yeah, she looks gross. So Xavier would be like, no, not in.
Yeah, he's like, no. The Jean Grey Institute, but not the Xavier.
Quitting the team and then coming back to the team because she realizes she needs to take care of the people around her as much as herself, which is a great lesson to learn.
Yeah. And again, I appreciated the phone call, the 3-way phone call between the 3 kids.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. That was a cool scene.
Realistic.
Yeah.
I thought it was well written. So I think it has
like
potential.
How it starts with text messages and then she's like, why is she calling me? What? And then like she's annoyed, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that felt very real. Like if the 3 of us were texting and then suddenly I was FaceTiming you too, you'd be like, why are you FaceTiming me right now? You know, like I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, the underlying thing that we hadn't mentioned this entire time was this like 23andMe.
Oh right, we haven't mentioned the app at all. Yeah, we didn't mention that.
And then like it kind of ends with like, who would ever be dumb enough to do that app? And then like the young cousin mutant is doing it. So like I assume it's going to be something along the lines of like.
Spoiler alert!
Tracking mutants, probably.
Spoiler alert!
Maybe all the humans give us your DNA for this really cool app, and we'll figure out who's a mutant.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's just Mr. Sinister harvesting
Yeah.
mutant DNA.
It seems very in his wheelhouse of
Yes,
things to
very
do.
much so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Release an app and everything. And so that's, I guess, more or less the first. That's the first story arc. Really, it's a good stopping point. Issues 1 through 5.
It's a good.
Yeah. Should we do recommend? I guess we're on recommendations now.
Yeah, let's talk about
Recommendation
recommendations,
time.
everybody.
I'll go first. I don't recommend it. I don't know if it gets better. I don't know if once they fight Mr. Sinister's evil app, it gets more interesting. But I just don't recommend this.
Given everything you've had to say over this episode, I'm so shocked that you wouldn't recommend it.
I know it's unforeseen. But
I know
I'm
it's a
gonna not
teen
recommend
book,
it.
but if they had focused more on Kitty and Emma and the actual fallout of Krakoa as a plot point for their characters, I might, even with the introduction of the newer mutants, I might have been more interested. But I feel like they just dropped the ball every time that came up. They were like, and moving on, and you're like, oh no, give me more of that. I want more of that. I thought the art was pretty good. Again, nothing to write home about, but it was pretty serviceable modern comic book art, so I liked it. It was good. Well, I never looked at the pages and went, ugh, this is trash. I just went, oh, this is good. And then I moved on.
I think it says a lot that when we went issue by issue, we pretty much never highlighted.
We didn't highlight the art, but we didn't bash it either. I wasn't going this.
Right, but that's what I mean. It's not really memorable or stylized in any way.
It's not. But overall, I still liked it. It wasn't like I didn't like it or I was lukewarm to it. It's just, I don't know. How do you say this? I feel like a lot of the modern comic kind of all the art kind of feels the same a lot these days. There's not a lot of
I feel like the art didn't subtract anything from the story.
No,
I feel like sometimes the art is so bad that it takes me out of the story. So it didn't do that, but it also wasn't some other artists that I've really enjoyed where the art, I think if it was a bad story, the art wouldn't compensate enough to compensate for that.
Yeah.
Where I feel like some artists, the art's so good that it can make a bad story decent, whereas this art, I just feel like it's very it's good. It's not it's good.
There's also a subtle thing with the coloring that specifically with Axo that I'm I didn't crack the code of, so I don't know what the colors meant or what he's feeling.
Well, they're mood rings, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a mood ring, but I wasn't paying attention to what the mood he was feeling. There might be, it's an interesting opportunity for some subtext for how he's feeling or how somebody's feeling around him versus what color he is, that I didn't take the time to see if they were doing something clever with it. There might have been. I wasn't paying attention. But you know what I mean? But that was kind of cool. I did like that. That would be the one thing that I'd be like, oh, that was a neat idea. Art wise. The writing, I don't know, serviceable. Again, it was just it wasn't, it was unexceptional X-Men to me, as Al said earlier. I was it's fun. I'm a huge fan of Kitty. I'm a huge fan of Nightcrawler. Like I just said, I was reading Uncanny Spider-Man, but that all comes from my crazy love of Excalibur from the 80s. But I don't know. It just felt like I had fun reading it just because it was Kitty, period. So there was part of it's that, but I wouldn't recommend this. A lot going on. A lot of half ideas.
The weird thing is I'm still reading this. I'm pretty current on it. It's the only X book that I'm still reading. But I wouldn't at the same time recommend it necessarily. I'm enjoying it where it's headed, but I do feel like it could have been. I think if they had done a dynamic where Kitty is if you saw the students through Kitty's eyes and you kind of had her perspective of everything she's been through and trying to I guess you kind of get that a little bit. It's fun for me. It's an easy read. It's easy to keep reading it. Everything's good. Nothing's great about it. So I enjoy it. I just at this point I've read through the entire Mr. Sinister stuff, and I'm still.
But as a Fall of X or whatever it's called, or is it Out of the Ashes or whatever it's called? What's this?
Yeah.
From the Ashes.
From the Ashes.
From the Ashes.
But it's your favorite because you keep reading.
But I also love Kitty and Emma. But like I just didn't never. Yeah, the other two books I didn't keep up with. But I wouldn't recommend it though.
Yeah,
to anybody.
It feels like it has a lot of potential, and it just didn't like need it.
So we'll see. Bronze is a cool character. I would love to see her in different stuff, but yeah, there's good bits, but overall, wouldn't recommend.
Wow. So a thumbs down on all three.
Three unrecommended.
That's a rare. It's a rare one. It's becoming less rare. I guess we're more open to reading random stuff though these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I think we won comics, boys. I think we did it.
That was it.
We did it.
All right.
We did it. Good journey, Couchers.
Goodbye.